चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं। इन दिस वीडियो हम लोग जनरल साइंस का पार्ट 4 देखेंगे। चलिए क्वेश्चन नंबर फर्स्ट। 1 mole of carbon dioxide CO2 contains 6 into 10 to the power 23 C atoms। इस नंबर को हम लोग एवोगेद्रोज नंबर भी कहते हैं। ठीक है, वन मोल ऑफ CO2 contains 6 into 10 to the power 23 C atoms। यहाँ देखिए की पॉइंट्स। 1 mole of CO2 contains 1 mole of carbon and 2 moles of oxygen, that is 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 atoms of carbon and 12.04 into 10 to the power 23 atoms of oxygen. 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 is Avogadro's number and refers to the number of atoms or molecules present in 1 mole of a substance. So there are 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 bracket में 6 into 10 120 1023 carbon atoms approx molecules of carbon dioxide in 1 mole of CO2। क्लियर है? नेक्स्ट बस इतना जानिए, 1 mole of carbon dioxide CO2 contains 6 into 10 to the power 23 carbon atoms और 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 is Avogadro's number. Additional information: the Avogadro's constant is a proportionality factor that relates the number of constituent particles in a sample to the amount of substance in that sample. Its its SI unit is the inverse mole and is defined as exactly Avogadro number equal to 6.022140076 into 10 to the power 23 mole power -1। इसे हम लोग 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 लिखते हैं। ठीक है, जैसे यहाँ पे लिखे हैं। क्लियर है? अब देखिए, इट इज नेम्ड आफ्टर द इटालियन साइंटिस्ट एमेडियो एवोगेद्रो। क्लियर है? एवो एवो पूछेगा द एवोगेद्रो नंबर क्या है, तो 6.023 इंटू 10 टू द पावर 23। ठीक है। नेक्स्ट, 4 नाइट्रोजन गैस प्लस ऑक्सीजन गैस इज इन इक्विलिब्रियम। इस जो ये जो सिंबल है इसे इक्विलिब्रियम कहते हैं विथ 2 मोलिक्यूल्स ऑफ नाइट्रोजन मोनोऑक्साइड। तो ये Kc इक्वल टू Kp। नेक्स्ट, the principle delta P into delta X greater than and equal to H divided by 4 pi is called हेसेनबर्ग अनसर्टेनिटी प्रिंसिपल। इसे क्या कहते हैं? हेसेनबर्ग अनसर्टेनिटी प्रिंसिपल कहते हैं। ठीक है, द प्रिंसिपल दिस इक्वेशन रिप्रेजेंट्स इज कॉल्ड द हेसेनबर्ग अनसर्टेनिटी प्रिंसिपल। किसे कहते हैं हेसेनबर्ग अनसर्टेनिटी प्रिंसिपल? डेल्टा पी इंटू डेल्टा एक्स ग्रेटर देन एंड इक्वल टू एच divided by 4 pi is called Heisenberg uncertainty principle. The principle delta p into delta x greater than and equal to h divided by 4 pi is called Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. Heisenberg's uncertainty principle states that it is impossible to precisely measure or calculate both the position and momentum of an object. This theory is based on the wave-particle duality of matter. Wave-particle duality of matter. Clear है? Next, additional information. Pauli's exclusion principle states that no two electrons in the same atom can have the same value for all 4 of their quantum numbers. In other words, there cannot be more than 2 electrons in the same orbital, and 2 electrons in the same orbital must have opposite spins. According to the Aufbau principle, the available atomic orbitals with the lowest energy levels are occupied earlier than the orbitals with higher energy levels. According to Arrhenius, acids are hydrogen containing compounds that give H plus ions or protons on dissociation in water, and bases are hydroxide compounds that give OH minus ions on dissociation in water. क्लियर है? देखिए क्या बोल रहा है. Pauli's exclusion principle क्या बोल रहा है? States that no two electrons in the same atom can have the same value for all four of their quantum numbers. ठीक है, इसी को अगर in other words, there cannot be more than two electrons in the same orbital, and two electrons in the same orbital must have opposite spins. वही according to the Aufbau principle, the available atomic orbitals with the lowest energy levels are occupied earlier than the orbitals with higher energy levels. ठीक है, अब according to Arrhenius, acids are hydrogen containing compounds that give H plus ions or protons on dissociation in water, and bases are hydroxide compounds that give OH minus ions on dissociation in water. Clear है? Next. How many value of spin quantum number are possible? 2. The possible values of spin quantum number are 2, that is plus 1 by 2 and minus 1 by 2. Spin quantum number. The spin quantum number describes the angular momentum and direction of the spin of an electron in the orbital. Each orbital will hold two electrons. The two electrons will have plus 1 by 2 and minus 1 by 2 spin. The electrons tend to fill the orbitals before they pair up. Hence, the first electron filled in the orbital will have a spin of plus 1 by 2. The electrons start pairing up once all the orbitals are half filled by one electron each. The second electron to fill the orbital will have a spin of minus 1 by 2. Clear है? अगर पूछे how many values of spin quantum number are possible, तो possible values of spin quantum number are 2, that is first plus 1 by 2 and second minus 1 by 2. Clear है? Next. The fourth quantum number that is introduced to describe the orientation of the electron spin rotation in space is called the spin quantum number. It can be clockwise or counterclockwise. क्या बोल रहा है? The fourth quantum number. क्या बोल रहा है? The fourth quantum number that is introduced to describe the orientation of the electron spin rotation in space is called the spin quantum number. It can be clockwise or counterclockwise. Clear? Next. देखिए, the formula for the phosphate of metal is MHPO4. The formula for its chloride will be MCl2. The formula for the phosphate of metal is MHPO4. The formula for its chloride will be MCl2. देखिए, the phosphate of metal is MHPO4. Therefore, metal M must be divalent, that is M2 plus. As a result, the formula of its chloride is MCl2. In MCl2, M is the symbol for the metal that combines with chlorine, Cl. The 2 after Cl means the valency of the metal has to be 2. Replace it with any metal from group 2 like calcium, magnesium, barium, etc., or with any element from the transition group which shows variable valency like iron Fe in plus 2 valency, ferrous state, lead Pb, etc. क्या बोल रहा है? The formula for the phosphate of metal is MHPO4. The formula for its chloride will be MCl2. The phosphate of metal is MHPO4. Therefore, metal M must be divalent, that is M to the power 2 plus. As a result, the formula of its chloride is MCl2. ठीक है, clear है? Next. When a person is hungry, the first thing a person uses is his glycogen. क्या बोल रहा है? When a person is hungry, the first thing a person uses is his glycogen. Humans need food for their survival and growth. The human body gets energy from carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. Glucose is the most preferred food source by the body cell. It results in larger ATP production and is easily digested and absorbed. Glucose is stored in the form of glycogen. When a person is hungry, the first thing a person uses is glycogen. The stored glycogen is broken down and used by the body cells. Clear है? जब भी पूछे when a person is hungry, the first thing a person uses is his glycogen. Clear है? Next. Or glucose is stored in the form of glycogen. Next. Additional information. Fats. Fats is used as fuel by the body. Fats digestion is complex and results in less energy production than glucose. Clear है? Fats is used as fuel by the body. Fats digestion is complex and results in less energy production than glucose. Blood protein. Blood protein helps in blood clotting. Blood protein transports the nutrients to the various body organs. Blood protein transports the nutrients to the other various body organs. Muscle proteins. Muscle proteins are actin and myosin which help in the contraction and relaxation of muscles. Muscle proteins helps in body locomotion and is not an energy source. Muscle protein. Muscle protein. These are muscle protein are actin and myosin which help in the contraction and relaxation of muscles. Muscle protein helps in body locomotion and is not an energy source. Clear? Next. Which one is not a protein? Lymphocyte. Lymphocyte protein नहीं है. Immunity is the protection of oneself from the invading pathogen. Our body has innate and specific immunity. Lymphocytes are the type of leukocytes that helps in killing the pathogen. Lymphocyte is B lymphocyte and a T lymphocyte. It is lymphocyte is B lymphocyte and T lymphocyte. Lymphocyte produces the antibody that binds with the antigen. B cell or lymphocyte develops in the bone marrow and is present in the blood plasma. The T lymphocytes form in bone marrow but mature in the thymus. Thus the term T lymphocyte. A lymphocyte is a cell formed by hematopoiesis in the bone marrow. A lymphocyte is not a protein. क्लियर है? लिम्फोसाइट को दो 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 पार्ट में भाग किया गया, एक बी लिम्फोसाइट एंड एक टी लिम्फोसाइट. एंड लिम्फोसाइट एक प्रोटीन नहीं है. ठीक है. लिम्फोसाइट immunity is the protection of oneself from the invading pathogen. Lymphocyte are type of leukocyte that helps in killing the pathogen. ठीक है. क्लियर है? वो प्रोटेक्शन देता है. बट लिम्फोसाइट प्रोटीन नहीं है. क्लियर है? नेक्स्ट. Additional protein forms by the polymerization of amino acids. ठीक है. Protein consists of primary, secondary and tertiary or quaternary structures. Proteins formed by the polymerization of amino acids. Collagen. Collagen is a protein that forms an inter-network connection. Collagen consists of alpha helical structures. Collagen is present in the extracellular matrix and thus supports the tissues. Elastin. Elastin is a protein present in the extracellular matrix. Elastin stretches up to 5 times its length. Elastin provides elasticity to the body. Silk. Silk is a protein secreted by silkworms. Silk consists of fibrone and sericin proteins. Silk is used in the making of clothes and bed sheets. Clear? Next. Which of the following ion is not present in blood plasma? Copper. Blood plasma is a viscous fluid. Blood plasma has 90 to 92% water and the rest is proteins. Blood plasma consists of essential biomolecules and ions. The iron is essential for body functioning as these act as cofactors. Ions play a vital role in a variety of reactions. Plasma is rich in Na+, Ca++, Mg+, HCO3 and Cl- ions. Plasma also has glucose, amino acids and proteins. Plasma carries all the essential nutrients to the cells via the blood. Copper ion is not present in blood plasma. Clear है? Copper ion blood plasma में नहीं होता है. Next, sodium Na ions help in maintaining the salt balance inside the body. Sodium ions help in the conduction of nerve impulses. Calcium Ca ions help in muscle contraction. Calcium also acts as a secondary messenger during signaling events. Magnesium Mg ions help in maintaining our immune system. Magnesium helps in muscle relaxation. Clear? Next, calcium मसल कॉन्ट्रैक्शन में काम आता है और मैग्नीशियम मसल रिलैक्सेशन में. क्लियर है? नेक्स्ट, विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग हैज ए होलोफाइटिक मोड ऑफ न्यूट्रिशन? यूग्लेना. क्या बोल रहा है? विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग हैज ए holophytic mode of nutrition? Euglena. Nutrition is the intake of food to obtain energy. Nutrition is holozoic, holophytic or saprophytic modes. The holophytic mode of nutrition occurs mainly in plants. Holophytic mode is also termed autotrophs. Plants make their food using sunlight and this process is photosynthesis. Euglena is the connecting link between the plants and animals. Euglena can make its food by using chloroplast and thus shows the autotrophic mode of nutrition. Euglena has a holophytic mode of nutrition. Clear? Next. Holozoic. Holozoic. In this holozoic mode of nutrition, the organism ingests the food. Holozoic is broken down into simple observable forms. Amoeba is an example of holozoic mode of nutrition. Here, amoeba perform phagocytosis to ingest the food particles. Heterotrophic mode of nutrition. The organism depends on others for food. Lion is its example. Lion is the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Example: lion depends on other animals such as deer and zebra for its food and nutrition. Detrivore. The organism that feeds on the dead and decaying matter is the detrivore. ठीक है? An earthworm is an example of detrivore. Detrivore feeds on the soil rich in organic matter and thus obtains nutrition. क्लियर है? नेक्स्ट अब देखिए होलोजोइक जो होता है वो ऑर्गेनिज्म इंजेस्ट फूड, ये फूड इंजेस्ट करता है जैसे एम्बीवा. ठीक है. होलोजोइक जो है ब्रोकन डाउन इनटू सिंपल ऑब्जर्वेबल फॉर्म. हेट्रोट्रोफिक जो होता है ऑर्गेनिज्म डिपेंड्स ऑन द अदर फूड्स. एंड डेट्रीवोर जो होता है वो डेड एंड डिकेइंग मैटर पे निर्भर होता है. क्लियर है? नेक्स्ट which of the following secretes steroid? Adrenal gland. Adrenal gland. Which of the following secretes steroid? Steroid कौन secrete करता है? Adrenal gland. Steroids are organic molecules. Steroids consist of heterocycle rings. Steroids is naturally present inside the human body. The steroids are secreted by the adrenal gland. Adrenal glands play a significant role in the endocrine system. Adrenal glands produce and secrete a variety of hormones, including steroids. The adrenal glands are located on the top of each kidney and are split into two distinct structures, the adrenal cortex and the other adrenal medulla, each of which produces its own set of hormones. ठीक है? क्लियर है? क्या पूछा है? Which of the following secretes steroid? तो adrenal gland. Stomach is a J-shaped structure. Stomach is the site where the digestion of protein occurs. Gastric glands secrete gastric juice inside the stomach. Clear? Pancreas. Pancreas is the second largest gland of the body. Pancreas secretes hormones as well as enzymes. Pancreatic juice is secreted in the small intestine. Oral cavity. Oral cavity is the site where salivary glands secrete their secretions. Oral cavity contains salivary amylase. Oral cavity helps in the digestion of carbohydrates. Oral cavity also helps in the mastication of food. Clear? Next. Mitochondria. Mitochondria produces energy in plant cells using the respiratory system. Mitochondria is a double membrane organelle. Mitochondria is semi-autonomous and can control some of its functioning. Mitochondria number varies in plant and animal cells. Plants have chloroplast, nucleus, mitochondria, and ribosomes. Mitochondria in the energy production unit in the plant cell. Here, ATP synthesis takes place. The glucose produced by photosynthesis is broken down to produce energy in the form of ATP in the mitochondria. The proton gradient that is generated during the electron transport results in the formation of ATP. This process is equivalent to the respiratory system and is called as cellular respiration. Hence, mitochondria produce energy in plant cells using the respiratory system. ठीक है? Mitochondria produces energy in plant cells using the respiratory system. Clear? Next. Chloroplast. Chloroplast helps in photosynthesis and the formation of glucose with the help of light energy. Mitochondria, on the other hand, help in cellular respiration, which breaks down sugar into ATP inside plant cells. Nucleus. Nucleus is a double membrane structure. Nucleus contains genetic material. Nucleus acts as the control unit and controls the cell's functioning. Clear? Next. Chloroplast. Chloroplast is a double membrane organelle. Chloroplast is semi-autonomous and can control some of its own functioning. Chloroplast has chlorophyll pigments that use light energy and converts it to chemical energy. Chloroplast is the organelle in plant cells where photosynthesis takes place. Ribosomes. Ribosome is a single membrane structure. Ribosome consists of large and small subunits. Ribosomes, the chloroplast and mitochondria have their own ribosomes. The chloroplast and mitochondria have their own ribosome. Ribosome is the site of protein synthesis. Ribosome is the site of protein synthesis. Clear? Next. Viruses have viruses have either RNA or DNA. A virus is a small non-living organism. Virus is enclosed by protein coat termed capsid. The capsid is made of capsomeres. Capsid hijacks the machinery of its host and thus forms its copy. No, sorry. Virus hijacks the machinery of its host and thus forms its copy. Virus has reverse transcriptase enzymes that aid in replicating. Viruses have either RNA or DNA as their genetic material. Virus has ssRNA or dsRNA or ssDNA or dsDNA as its genetic material. The virus affects bacteria, plants and animals. The virus that infects bacteria is a bacteriophage. यहाँ देखिए बैक्टीरियोफेज वैसा वायरस जो बैक्टीरिया को इफेक्ट करता है, ठीक है, इन्फेक्ट करता है, उसे बैक्टीरियोफेज कहते हैं। तो बैक्टीरियोफेज कौन कौन हो गया? जो बैक्टीरिया वायरस जो बैक्टीरिया को इन्फेक्ट करे वो है CTX फेज, लैम्डा फेज, T12 फेज, T4 फेज। ठीक है, वायरस जो प्लांट वायरस है उसे कहते हैं टोबाको मोजेक वायरस TMB, पोटैटो वायरस X PVX, पोटैटो वायरस Y PVY, पोटैटो लीफ रोल वायरस PLRV। जो एनिमल वायरस है उसे क्या कहते हैं? पैपोवे वायरसेज, पैपोवे वायरसेज, सिमियन वायरस 40, एडेनो वायरसेज एंड हर्पेस वायरसेज। क्लियर है? नेक्स्ट. The size of particles dispersed in an emulsion range between 10 ampere to 100 ampere. क्या बोल रहा है? The size of the particles dispersed in an emulsion range between 10 ampere to 100 ampere. The size of the particles dispersed in an emulsion range between 10 ampere to 100 ampere. An emulsion is a fine dispersion of minute droplets of one liquid in another in which it is not soluble or not mixable. In other words, it can be defined as a colloid consisting of two or more non-homogeneous type of liquids, wherein one of the liquid contains the dispersion of the different form of liquids. Typical example is mixture of oil and water. ठीक है, next. The emulsion is primarily classified into two types: oil in water type emulsion. In this type of emulsion, oil acts as a dispersed phase and water acts as a dispersion medium. Example: milk, vanishing cream, etc. Water in oil type emulsion. In this type of emulsion, water acts as a dispersed phase and oil acts as the dispersion medium. Example: cold cream, butter, cod liver oil, etc. The size of particles dispersed in an emulsion range between 1 nanometer and 10 nanometer, that is 10 ampere equal to 100 ampere. ठीक है, next. How many acyclic chain isomers of C6H12 are possible? 5. क्या बोल रहा है? How many acyclic chain isomers of C6H12 are possible? C6H14. How many acyclic chain isomers of C6H14 are possible? 5. C6H14 is hexane. It had 5 structural isomers. The 5 isomers possible for hexane are N-hexane, 2-methylpentane, 3-methylpentane, 2,3-dimethylbutane and 2,2-dimethylbutane. 2-methylpentane is also called isohexane and 2,2-dimethyl butane, also called new hexane. Clear है? Next, if the blood group of both the parents is AB, then the possible blood group of their children will be A, B and AB. If the blood group of both the parents is AB, क्या बोल रहा है? If the blood group of both the parents is AB, then the possible blood group of their children will be A, B and AB. Blood is a body fluid. ABO blood grouping was given by Carl Landsteiner. ABO blood grouping was given by Carl Landsteiner. The parent's blood group is AB. The blood group proteins are present in the I gene. ठीक है. The genotype of patient is IA IB. ठीक है. यहाँ पे देखिए गैमेट्स दे रखा है IA IB. ठीक है. यहाँ पे फिगर है. नेक्स्ट, from the Punnett square, we can see that the blood group can be A, AB and B. The blood group shows codominance interaction. A and B are codominant over the O blood group. IA equal to A blood group, as here only A allele is present on the I gene. IB AB blood group, as here A and B allele is present on the I gene. IB equal to B blood group, as here B allele is present on the I gene. If the blood group of both parents is AB, then the possible blood group of their children will be A, B and AB. Clear है? Next, यहाँ देखिए ब्लड ग्रुप दे रखा है A, B, AB और O. एंटीजन ऑन आरबीसी A हो जाएगा, B हो जाएगा, B में B, AB में A और B और O में नो AG. नो एंटीजन होता है. ठीक है. एंटीबॉडी इन प्लाज्मा, एंटी बी हो जाएगा, एंटी ए हो जाएगा बी में, ए बी में नो एंटीजन एंटीबॉडी होगा और ओ में एंटी ए और बी होगा. डोनर ब्लड ग्रुप, ब्लड ग्रुप ए वाले को कौन डोनेट कर सकता है ब्लड? ए और ओ वाले. ब्लड ग्रुप बी वाले को कौन डोनेट कर सकता है? बी और ओ वाले. ए बी वाले को कौन डिनोट कर सकता है? ए बी ओ सब दे सकता है. और ब्लड ग्रुप ओ वाले को ओनली ओ ही दे सकता है. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट, वेयर इज द वेटेस्ट प्लेस इन द वर्ल्ड? एशिया. वेटेस्ट प्लेस इन द वर्ल्ड किधर है? एशिया में है. द वेटेस्ट प्लेस इन द वर्ल्ड इज लोकेटेड इन एशिया. Mausinram, a town of Meghalaya in northeastern India, situated high up in India's Khasi Hills, is the wettest place in the world. कहाँ है? The wettest place in the world किधर है? Mausinram, जो कि मेघालय में है. The place receives the highest amount of average annual rainfall in the world. Mausinram receives an average annual rainfall of 11,871 millimeter. Mausinram is directly in the path of warm, moist air swept in the form of Bay of Bengal. Most of the rain falls here during the monsoon season. Clear? Next. Lines connecting equal depths of the sea on a map are called isobath. क्या बोल रहा है? क्या बोल रहा है? Lines connecting equal depths of the sea on a map are called isobath. Isobath क्या है? Isobath is an imaginary line or a line on a map or chart that connects all points having the same depth below a water surface, as of an ocean, sea or lake. Clear है? Next, आइसोप्लेट्स. आइसोप्लेट्स क्या होता है? आइसोप्लेट्स और डिस्क्रिप्शन. ठीक है. देखिए, आइसोथर्म. आइसोथर्म इज ए लाइन ड्रॉन ऑन ए मैप और चार्ट ज्वाइनिंग पॉइंट्स विद द सेम टेम्परेचर. सेम टेम्परेचर को दर्शाना है चार्ट पे या मैप में, तो आइसोथर्म का यूज करते हैं. आइसोथर्म आर कॉमनली used in meteorology to show the distribution of temperature at the Earth's surface. Isotherms are commonly used in meteorology to view temperature distribution on the surface of the Earth or a chart showing steady or constant pressure. अब देखिए आइसोबार, आइसोबार लाइन ऑन ए वेदर map of constant line of barometric pressure drawn on a given reference surface. The isobaric pattern on a constant height surface is extremely useful in weather forecasting because of the close association between pressure and the weather. Clear है? Isotherm, isobar and isobath. Isobath का यूज क्या करते हैं? डेप्थ देखने के लिए. आइसोथर्म का यूज टेम्परेचर. आइसोबार का प्रयोग वेदर को देखने के लिए. क्लियर है? अब देखिए आइसोहेट. आइसोहेट is a line on a map that connects points that have the same amounts of precipitation in a given period or for a particular storm. A line on a map that connects places that have the same amount of rain. ठीक है? Isohypse, a line on a map connecting points of equal height. Equal height को दिखाने के लिए isohypse. Isohale का प्रयोग. Isohale, a line in drawn on a map or chart connecting places of equal duration of sunshine. Equal duration of sunshine. देखिए isohate या height, इसका प्रयोग जो करते हैं प्रेसिपिटेशन मापने के लिए मैप पे. आइसोहाइप्स का प्रयोग करते हैं इक्वल हाइट को दर्शाने के लिए. आइसोहेल का प्रयोग करते हैं इक्वल ड्यूरेशन ऑफ सनशाइन को देखने के लिए. आइसोक्रोन, an imaginary line or a line on a chart connecting points at which an event occurs simultaneously or which represents the same time or time difference. टाइम और टाइम डिफरेंस को दिखाने के लिए आइसोक्रोन का यूज करते हैं. और आइसोनॉर्मल, in line on a chart connecting points of equal abundance values of a plant species sampled in different sections of an area. Isonomes of different species from the same area are compared in studies of plant distribution. आइसोनोमल का प्रयोग स्पेसीज को, प्लांट स्पेसीज को देखने के लिए करते हैं. क्लियर है? नेक्स्ट. क्लियर है? नेक्स्ट. बोरा इज ए कोल्ड एंड ड्राई वाइंड. बोरा क्या है? एक कोल्ड एंड ड्राई वाइंड है. बोरा इज ए कोल्ड एंड ड्राई वाइंड. Bora blows from Hungary to North Italy. Bora comes from the northeast across the Adriatic Sea, affecting Italy, Slovenia, and Croatia. Tropical cyclone. Tropical cyclone is a rapidly rotating storm system over tropical oceans, characterized by a low pressure center. Tropical cyclones are among the most destructive weather phenomena. Tropical cyclones have different names depending on their location. In the North Atlantic Ocean and Eastern North Pacific region, tropical cyclones are called hurricanes. In the Western North Pacific region, tropical cyclones are called typhoons. While in the Southern Pacific and the Indian Ocean, tropical cyclones are simply known as cyclones. Tornado. Tornado is a narrow column of violently rotating air extending from the base of a thunderstorm down to the ground. Clear? Next. Bora क्या है? Bora is a cold and dry wind. Which of the following river is in Delhi? Yamuna. The national capital New Delhi is situated on the banks of river Yamuna. Yamuna river system. The Yamuna river is the largest tributary of the Ganga river. Yamuna originates from the Yamunotri glacier at the Bandar Poonch peak in Uttarakhand. The main tributaries joining the river, Yamuna river, include the Hindan, Betwa, Ken and Chambal. Hindan, Betwa, Ken and Chambal, ये सब tributary है यमुना का. The Tons is the largest tributary of the Yamuna. Tons क्या है? Largest tributary of Yamuna. The catchment of the river extends to the states of Delhi, Himachal Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Haryana, Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh. Total length of Yamuna का 1376 किलोमीटर, 1326. Clear है? Next. New Delhi. The foundation of New Delhi, the capital of India, was laid by the by the then Emperor George V during the Delhi Darbar on 12 December 1911, it was announced to shift the capital of India from Kolkata to Delhi. On 13 February 1931, Lord Irwin, the Viceroy of India, inaugurated Delhi as the new capital of the country. Kolkata was the capital of the country until 1911, before the capital of India became New Delhi. New Delhi is the seat of the Indian Parliament, Central Secretariat, Supreme Court and Rashtrapati Bhavan. Clear and next. Irrawaddy River meets Bay of Bengal. Irrawaddy River meets the Bay of Bengal. Irrawaddy is the longest river in Myanmar. Irrawaddy is the longest river in Myanmar. Irrawaddy is a drainage basin of about 4,04,200 square kilometers. Irrawaddy River flows into the Andaman Sea, Bay of Bengal. Irrawaddy name is believed to derive from the Sanskrit term Airavati, meaning elephant river. Chindwin River is the main tributary of the Irrawaddy River, northern Myanmar, Burma. Sitang River in east-central Myanmar, rising northeast of Yemethin on the edge of the San Plateau and flowing south to 260 miles, 420 kilometers, to empty into Gulf of Martaban of the Andaman Sea. The Thanalwin River, formerly named as Salween or Salween, rises in Tibet, after which it flows through Yunnan, is known as the Nujiang River. Clear? Next. The Thanalwin River is long 2815 kilometers. It then leaves China and meanders through the Myanmar and Thailand on its way to emptying in the Andaman Sea by Mola Miang. Myanmar, also called Burma country, located in the western portion of mainland Southeast Asia. Next. A shallow stretch of river that can be crossed by foot or by car is called ford. क्या बोल रहा है? A shallow stretch of river that can be crossed by foot or by car is called ford. A shallow stretch of river that can be crossed by foot or by car is called ford. The ford can be man-made or natural. Fords may be impassable during high water. Clear? Next. Atoll. It is a ring-shaped coral reef island or series of islets, including a coral rim that encircles a lagoon partially or completely. Most of the world's great atolls are located in the Pacific Ocean. Reef. A reef is a ridge or shoal of rock or coral lying beneath the surface of a natural body of water. Reefs can occur naturally or can also be artificial, created by human beings. Lagoon. Lagoon is a shallow body of water separated from a larger body of water by sandbars, barrier islands, or coral reefs. Lagoons are commonly divided into coastal lagoons and atoll lagoons. Next. Which is the largest island in the world? Greenland. Greenland is the largest island in the world. Greenland, the world's largest island, lying in the North Atlantic Ocean. Greenland covers an area of 21 lakh 30,800 kilometers square, up to 970 square meter. Greenland is noted for its vast tundra and immense glaciers. Although Greenland remains a part of the Kingdom of Denmark, the island's home rule government is responsible for most domestic affairs. The Greenlandic people are primarily Inuit, Eskimo. The capital of Greenland is Nuuk, God, Godthab. Nuuk मतलब Godthab. An island or isles is any piece of subcontinental land that is surrounded by water, Very small islands such as emergent land features on atolls can be called islets, skerries, cage or keys, and very large islands are like Greenland, Madagascar, etc. क्या बोल रहा है? Very small islands such as emergent land features on atolls can be called islets, skerries, cage or keys, and very large islands are like Greenland and Madagascar, etc. देखिए ग्रीनलैंड जो आइलैंड है इसका साइज क्या है 2,21,30,800 किलोमीटर स्क्वायर। कहाँ है? एटलांटिक ओशियन में। मेडागास्कर आइलैंड जो है इसका क्या है 5,87,041 स्क्वायर किलोमीटर। ये कहाँ है? मेडागास्कर में है। बोर्नियो आइलैंड कहाँ पे है? एरिया कितना है 7,48,168 किलोमीटर स्क्वायर। ये बोर्नियो आइलैंड इंडोनेशिया में है। होन्सू आइलैंड जापान में है। ग्रीनलैंड कहाँ है? अटलांटिक ओशियन में। मेडागास्कर में, बोर्नियो इंडोनेशिया में और होन्सू जापान में है आइलैंड। नेक्स्ट, विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज ए कंपोजिट ऑफ फ्रूट? मलबेरी। Fruit is a ripened ovary. Fruit is the form after double fertilization. The fruit is the edible part of a plant. Fruit is a simple aggregate and composite type. Composite fruit is formed from the complete inflorescence. Mulberry is a composite fruit. Jackfruit and people are also examples. Jackfruit and people also example of composite fruit. Clear? Next. Composite fruit is formed from the complete inflorescence. अब देखिए एग्रीग्रेट फ्रूट। एग्रीग्रेट फ्रूट डेवलप्स फ्रॉम द एपोकेरपोस ओवरी. Aggregate fruit forms the bunch of fruitless term Aterio. Strawberry, raspberry, rose, and custard apples are examples of aggregate fruit. Simple fruit. Simple fruit is formed from the monocarpellary ovary. Simple fruit forms only a single fruit. जैसे कैस्यू हो गया, लीची हो गया, साइट्रस हो गया एंड मैंगो आर एग्जांपल्स ऑफ सिंपल फ्रूट। ट्रू फ्रूट क्या होता है? ट्रू fruit is formed from the ovary. टोमेटो इज एन एग्जांपल ऑफ ट्रू फ्रूट। और फॉल्स फ्रूट क्या होता है? फॉल्स फ्रूट इज formed from the perianth and thalamus. Walnut is an example of false fruit. Next, which of the following is obtained by the aqueous decomposition of fat by lipase? Fatty acid and glycerol. Which of the following obtained by the aqueous decomposition of fat by lipase? Fatty acid and glycerol. Enzymes are proteinaceous. Enzymes breaks down the biomolecules into a simple absorbable form. The pancreatic gland releases lipase. Fatty acid and glycerol are obtained by the aqueous decomposition of fat by lipase. In the small intestinal, it helps break the bonds and release fatty acid and glycerol. Fat molecules consist of 3 fatty acid and glycerol molecules. Fat is stored in adipocytes. Adipocytes are cells found in adipose tissues. The fat is used as body fuel and provides energy for the body's metabolic reactions. Clear? And next. Glycerol is a 3-carbon alcohol. Alcohol is an OH containing hydrocarbon compound. Amino acids consist of carboxyl groups and amino groups. Amino acid is the building block of proteins or polypeptides. Proteins are digested to form amino acids. Enzymes देखिए nucleosidases enzymes डिकम्पोजिशन प्रोडक्ट, सुगर्स बेसेज, ठीक है। न्यूक्लियोसाइडेसिस एंजाइम्स जो होता है वो सुगर्स बेसेज को डिकम्पोजिशन प्रोडक्ट है, शुगर बेसेज है। लैक्टेज जो एंजाइम है, लैक्टेज जो एंजाइम्स है वो ग्लूकोज प्लस गैलेक्टोज को का डिकम्पोजिशन प्रोडक्ट्स है, ठीक है, ग्लूकोज प्लस गैलेक्टोज का। सुक्रेज जो एंजाइम्स है वो ग्लूकोज प्लस फ्रक्टोज का डिकम्पोजिशन प्रोडक्ट है। माल्टेस जो है ये ग्लूकोज प्लस ग्लूकोज का डिकम्पोजिशन प्रोडक्ट है। क्लियर है? नेक्स्ट चलिए, इंडियन स्टैंडर्ड टाइम इज अहेड ऑफ ग्रीनविच मीन टाइम बाय 5.5 आवर्स, मतलब 5.1/2 आवर्स, 5.5 घंटा ahead of Indian Standard Time is ahead of Greenwich Mean Time by 5.5 घंटा. Indian Standard Time is 5 hours 30 minutes ahead of Greenwich Mean Time. In India, the longitude of 82.5 degree east is treated as the standard meridian. The local time at the meridian is taken as the standard time for the whole country. It is known as the Indian Standard Time. The prime meridian is 0 degree and is known as the Greenwich line as it passes through Greenwich near London, where the British Royal Observatory is located. Longitudes have one very important function, that is the determine local time in relation to Greenwich Mean Time. Local time is the time reckoned by the noon sun at a given place, and standard time is a local time of the standard meridian of a country. Clear? Next. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.